Hi.
Hi.
We just wanted to pop on so quick before you listen to the finale episode of season 1. We had an amazing guest for this episode.
It was amazing. And I'm feeling it's a little bittersweet. I cannot believe that we are at the end of season 1.
No, it's like really nuts.
It's just time flies when you're having fun.
And fun is free.
And I just Hannah, I love you. I love you.
Happened.
Sorry.
I love you too. And this happened within one conversation.
Yeah.
We should have a podcast together. Next conversation, Sex and City. Mm-hmm. Next conversation, but also more about us. So we're not relying on the Sex and City brand. We can showcase our stories and our comedy.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, we were
let's
signed a deal.
Go. Yeah.
Planned our social. We're setting up stuff. It's crazy to think how quickly we put this all together.
Sometimes and
it feels so normal, part of my week, part of my to-do list.
Let's go. And we just it was amazing.
Literally this time last year, we didn't know
oh my
each
God,
other.
I want to cry. I want to cry. Hannah.
This is crazy.
This is so crazy.
And the guest that we have on for the episode, for the finale, is so important for our friendship.
Yes.
For this to be the guest.
Yes.
But we did want to come on and just give you a heads up that this episode does not go with the normal flow of our episodes.
We decided to switch it up a little.
It became a little more chatty, a little more interviewee. We still cover the episode for sure, but we just wanted to give you a heads up that it's going to be really out of format from the others, but it's perfect.
It's brilliant.
And if you have notes, no, you don't, because it's amazing. And what was done was perfect.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to come on though before to, without a guest, say thank you to anyone that's listened to season 1.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who's
podcast.
Listened, who's sent us really cool messages. We get so many messages from people being I love this part of the episode, or even text, even from randoms in the DMs, but then also via text, all of our family and friends and
it means so much
acquaintances, even it just all of the feedback has been so beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
And we love you. And thank you so much. And big thank you to My Friend's Basement, our producers. They are amazing as well. Big thank you to Becky for all the clips that she's done for us, and Sean Curley for the intro music. It's truly a team effort, and we've just been so happy.
And to Wolf for the clips in the beginning.
And to Wolf for the Wolfgang Hunter. For the clips in the beginning as well. So we love you. We hope you enjoyed this next episode, our last episode of the season. Get ready for season 2 because it's freaking wild.
We're so excited for season 2.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to come on. So enjoy the episode, and
I love you, Hannah.
I love you, Nora. I'm Hannah Gerlander.
And I'm Nora Freed.
And you're listening to High Heels and Punchlines. And today is the finale. We've made it.
We made it.
To the end of our first season. And today we are going to be watching, and we're going to be recapping our finale episode, O Come All Ye Faithful, episode 12. I'm going to give you guys the highlights and Carrie's question for the episode. But then we're really excited to introduce, we have a very, very special guest for our finale episode. Okay, so in this episode, the highlights, Miranda is dating a Catholic who has to shower every time after they have sex. Carrie meets Big's mother. Samantha is quote unquote in love. And Charlotte gets her tarot cards read, and they do not predict marriage. And the big question of this episode is, are relationships the religion of the 90s? But now I'm going to pass it over to Nora because we're not going to recap until we bring on our guest.
So we have a very, very special guest with us today. She is a top real estate agent in New York City with Douglas Elliman. She has appeared on Real Housewives of New York City as Dorinda Medley's real estate broker. She's a legend. She's an icon, the amazing Laurie Cooper. Laurie, thank you so much for coming on with us. We're so happy to have you.
Oh, I'm pleased to have fun with you girls. Let's go. Let's do it.
Awesome.
You're like a true New York icon, so it makes sense to finish season 1 with you.
really, I've been around a long time. I've seen it all. A lot of great stories, a lot of fun. Every day a new story, which is the greatest thing about real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And having friends that are all ages, and including me in their life. Once they buy, I've gone to their children's bar mitzvahs, weddings, keeps going. So it's a great life. Yes, I was at the Oscars.
You were?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was invited to the Oscars with my family. We all went there. It was great. I had great seats. I had before party, after party. It was fun.
You can't ask for more.
Hilton that time, and that's where the party was, and I think they still have it there. Anyways, I had a great time. We rented a white Rolls Royce so that we could be seen as the cars were pulling in. I was white, they were all black, so everybody knew I was approaching. So it was great fun.
Wow.
And now, how long have you?
And had the best time ever.
How long have you lived in New York?
I would say 90% of my life
Wow.
has been in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, but that was a short time. Moved to Riverdale and then New York City.
Oh, okay.
As a married woman, or Fifth Avenue. So right by the Guggenheim Museum, and I'm still here. And we had our office up here, so we started our business 40 years ago, out of that. And we just covered this whole Upper East Side, and it's been great. I've made a lot of friendships, stayed in this neighborhood, and I have sold a lot up here. I had my 60 people working for me, and as everyone knows, I had a Cooper's one Rolls Royce with the driver, so drove around here. So I was in this area and selling before a lot of companies came.
Yeah.
And you had Barbara Corcoran, who was my competition at that time.
Oh, wow.
Whatever. It's been quite a run.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have entered this market. A lot of people have decided to become salespeople. But I've been there, seen it all.
Yeah.
And you could call everyone, and everyone was the major owners of all the real estate in the city. And the city's great, and it's back again.
And now, have you ever? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Have you watched Sex and the City? Right, like you watched it.
I've watched Sex
before
and the
this
City. I saw
pod.
the movie. I mean, it was the 90s.
Well, that's Carrie's question for this episode, which we obviously want your opinion on. She said, "Are relationships the religion of the 90s?"
Yes.
You agree with that?
It was very different. A lot of it was exposed that nobody really talked about all the sex that was going on with dating and religion with sex. I mean, what did that have to do with it? Well, we see it in this one episode.
Yeah.
Where
we really do.
Sex and being Catholic and listening to the nuns. It's a whole different world. It's very different.
Now, in this episode, Carrie, the big thing that happens is that Carrie meets Big's mother by going to church, even though she was not invited. I thought that was like crossing the line. Like, I feel
I agree.
I thought it was crazy
too much.
she went to church with him.
Why didn't she meet the mother? This is her question when she was dating him for so long.
I know.
And that was a sign of you're moving forward with him. When you met the family.
That's what Charlotte said too.
And she wanted to meet his mother, and he referred to her as a friend, and that really infuriated her.
What did you think of Mr. Big? Like, if you met Mr. Big back in the day, would you have gone out with him?
In those days, he was like hot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was. Because we know all about him. But then he was, wow, isn't he great? And she was crazy about him. And
she was.
So you sort of lived it through her eyes. So that was a relationship that you're dating someone for a few months. Where are you going with this?
Right.
Is it moving forward? And she wanted at least to get some hint from him. Yes, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this is going forward,
mm-hmm.
Into something serious. And that's the sign that she wanted and she didn't get. Because he was fearful, let's face it.
Right.
It's a big step. And he wanted to step back and do it the way he wanted. But he was willing to give her up when she didn't go on the trip to the Bahamas because he wasn't going to give her any indication of anything.
Right.
So she got walked. He walked Let's put it that way.
I was happy with how the episode ended. I was like, the whole season, I feel like we see all these red flags and signs that Mr. Big isn't as committed as Carrie.
Right.
So I was kind of relieved when she finally had the moment of like, you're not serious about me. Like, I'm not going away on a trip with you to put a Band-Aid on the fact that you don't want to be with me.
Yeah, but realize something.
Okay.
There isn't a man out there anxious to have a long-term relationship that easily. You don't get them that fast. It's got to be a bit of a struggle. Either one walks, the other walks, and they get back together, or he misses her, she misses him, and this is what it's all about. This is all a game. Let's face it, girls. You bring in some competition, they get a little jealous. No one's going to say, "Oh wow, you're wonderful. Let's get married."
Yeah,
not happening that way.
That's true.
Especially not in New York.
Not in New York. Well, New York is an easy place to socialize.
Yeah, but I feel like a hard place to get commitment and seriously
but to find
date
someone. I mean, listen, Carrie Bradshaw was beautiful, smart, and she wrote about all her friends in her articles. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. They expose a lot. It's a lot of fun. I mean, with Samantha and her love and the guy with the small penis.
What did you think? What did you think of that?
The best scene ever. Well, she brought a lot to that.
She did.
Episodes.
She really did.
Her crying in the bathroom over it was so funny.
So funny. I mean, hysterical. The kind of guy she wanted and what he should have. She was satisfied.
Laurie, can I ask
you?
You?
Even funny, but she was funny all the time. There's many scenes with the sexual scenes that she had because she was so hungry for sex. And
she was
hysterical. Funny. A lot of girls may think that, but they don't say it.
Right.
Watching it.
Laurie, have you met any of the Fab Four? I mean, you've been in the city for so long. I feel like you've met so many great people selling real estate and just having lived here.
I've met a lot of celebrities, but on that series, I watched them film. At that time, they were filming at the Stanhope Hotel, which is not around anymore, which is across the street from the Metropolitan Museum. And of course, their apartment that they had, that was this grand apartment I've been in.
Oh, wow.
I remember whose apartment it was. That was at 1010 Fifth Avenue, facing Central Park. All those fabulous closets. Remember that?
Oh my God, yeah. I'll never have a closet.
And her clothes, I mean, the clothes that they wore. You know, it's a different time now. And nobody wore trousers. Everybody wore skirts.
Mm-hmm.
It was different. I look at these old films and I say, God, nobody dresses like they dress now. Things changed after COVID because New York was a great city of fashion. And I still get dressed every single day. And
we follow
you on Instagram.
Laurie, we see your looks on Instagram. You look amazing.
Thank you. So I like to get dressed every day. You know, I feel like every day is a day you should really enjoy and feel great about it. And express yourself, how you're feeling. And I feel getting dressed is great. I look down at people's shoes now and I can't believe nobody's in heels. Nobody,
I know.
Let alone shoes. They're all wearing sneakers. So everybody's dressed differently now. So it's fun to go back and see Carrie, Samantha, Miranda, all dressed.
They're so fabulous too. Like they look so
fabulous.
good.
The clothes are fabulous. The colors are great. But we live in a world that you take the barrel that's filled and you turn it upside down. And you go to the one that's on the bottom, and that's fashion now. And I think it's going to get back to women dressing again. Remember, women were not going back to their offices that quickly. But now you're out. So if you're out at your office, you're out at lunch. And you want to look fashionable. You want to look great. I think that's all the fun of New York City.
Who do you think had the best style in the show?
There's no question. Carrie.
Oh, really? I think Charlotte.
Charlotte has style. It's different style, but Charlotte has fun with her clothes. It's great.
Yeah.
And she takes chances with what she's wearing. Carrie, too. I mean, wearing all these long dresses in the city. And then she was wearing fur coats, which you don't wear that much now. But the colors, the swagger was all great.
Yeah.
And, that's what New York's a fashion city.
Yeah.
Fashion Week, you see everybody get dressed up, which is great. So if you go to the shows, you see everybody dressed. And the New York Housewives now are dressing very well.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we had a fun
Of course.
time with the Housewives of New York when Dorinda was on, Sonia and all of them. It was different. It's a different Housewives now.
So,
Uh,
yeah, we actually are happy to segue into Housewives. If you're on board, we do have a lot of fans who are very interested in your Housewives knowledge.
well, I know them all. I know the old New York Housewives.
And that's who we're interested in. So that's perfect.
Yeah, so they're a lot of fun. The Countess, I met her before she started.
Really?
That must have been about 14 years ago. I met her at the Carlisle Hotel because the owner, I was friends with the wife of the owner of the Carlisle. And I went into Carlisle and I ran into the Countess. She was there at a birthday party. And she says, "Oh, you're a true New Yorker. I need a few tips because I'm going to be on the New York Housewives. I haven't started yet." She says, "Can you tell me what the New York Housewives all about?" And that was fun because she eventually found her way in New York.
She's quite a famous housewife now.
Yes.
She's one of my favorites.
She's as real as she appears. She's actually a great person.
Yeah.
She's very sweet, very down to earth, and a lot of fun to be with. She is what you see.
Who do you think is like?
I mean, she never thought of herself that way, and then she had the guts to actually do it. And we watched her go through a lot of
so much
with
the drinking
and
her divorce.
Husband, I knew him.
Oh, you knew the Count
yes,
or Tom?
I knew him. He was dating another friend of mine, and
wait, sorry, who? So
he was dating a few of my friends.
Who? Tom?
Tom.
I was actually going to ask you, Laurie. Do you feel like Harry Dubin or Tom is kind of like the Mr. Big?
Oh, Harry Dubin's a joke and a half.
Oh,
come on.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
He's a waste of time. But he dated a few of the women. I still go to the Regency. Tom doesn't show up there anymore, by the way. But Harry Dubin keeps going in there and sitting at the bar. And,
who's still hanging out with Harry?
What's that?
Who's still hooking up with Harry?
Whenever he can find somebody, he hooks up. He's not serious. He's got a son that went to school with my grandson. Anyway, so Harry Dubin is just got his name out there because the women were desperate just to have a date, and he was always available. So we went through all of them, which is rather fun to watch. But Tom was a real charmer. Tom was very flirtatious. And of course, we all know what Tom's all about. And he's now with someone else. He's just a guy that's out there, that was good looking, that had money. And we saw all that was Harry, we saw Tom. And what can I tell you? I just feel sorry for the Countess.
Yeah, she didn't deserve that.
And she really thought she had a great thing going here, marrying him. And actually, she gave up her name, Countess. And I met her husband that time. So they were not divorced when I met her the first time. And I met the Count, who was, attractive guy. And she was really attractive when I met her. I actually showed her an apartment that I thought, she said, "Let me look at this apartment that you have." And I went in there. She said, I was just looking around. She was not enamored with it. Did not buy a New York apartment. They ended up buying something in the Hamptons, as you know. And that's what she still has, which is in Sag Harbor. But she's real. And Dorinda's great. Dorinda's exactly as you see her.
Yeah.
Dorinda's had a very interesting past. I knew Dorinda when she had just gotten divorced. And I walked her around looking at apartments with her ex-husband. And she was living in a rental. I remember her daughter was just a little girl. And Dorinda was always she's very smart. Dorinda Dorinda made a great deal out of the New York Housewives. She made a lot of money on that. And of course, she didn't have that great house. That was with her second husband that she had the house. I could tell you a lot about that as well, but what do you want to talk about, girls? I can talk about anything. Tell me, which direction do you want me to go?
Well, it's up to Nora. We can get back to the episode, or we can keep learning about you and your life.
I'm so torn because I know we should be getting back to the episode for sure.
But we're so excited to talk to you as well.
I do have a couple more questions about you, Laurie, and your life that I am going to need to ask.
And then we'll get back to the episode.
Okay? Yeah. Laurie, I do know that you sold Kanye West a home in 2004 with his mother.
I knew him quite well then.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Well, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
I was with his mother as well, who was a very hands-on in every which way. She made his career in the beginning. You know that she was a professor at a university, so she was very smart. And he is brilliant. And it was quite an interesting experience going out with them. You know, he was a very nice, gentle person who, when I walked in the street with him, just held my arm. It was just very lovely. And yes, and he made a quick decision. He looked at it and said, I love it. So that's where we are with that. And of course, you know, things evolved. He was smart. I was out with him to rent an apartment, and I talked him into buying. I said, look at what it would cost to rent.
Right.
Amortize that into a mortgage, and they thought about it. And again, he was at the beginning of his career at that time. And then he went, whoop, and he really blossomed because he was brilliant at what he did. And that was a great investment he made with me. And I had a relationship with his mother for a while. She was she would go shopping. She went to Century 21. Can you imagine? She was looking for bargains at that time. And she loved fur coats. She came to New York and she bought like 4 fur coats, whatever. And we know where he went, very far.
Yes.
Then of course I had Robert De Niro as a client, and at that time he was married to Grace Hightower, which was interesting Black woman, and she too was leading him around, and he was in awe of her. They got divorced and they remarried again. And she had a major hold on him. He was a very interesting person. He looked at many things with me, many apartments, townhouses, whatever. And this was Harvey Weinstein's apartment that he bought. So we know Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, we know Harvey.
We've heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
We don't know him.
No, not like that. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He's in jail now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Thank God.
Great apartment. It was
great
a
apartment, though.
Of 2 apartments. And I thought this was right for him. And I said, buy it. He said, don't you push me around. Guess what? He bought it. Because I was right. It was the right apartment.
Laurie's always right.
He was afraid of heights. So this was a low floor, which was great. Because when I traveled a lot, and I used to go to Italy every summer. And they were planning on going to Italy. And I would go to my favorite spot, which is the jewel of Italy, which is Capri.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, where should they go? I said, go to the Amalfi Coast. And I sent them to a hotel that had the most amazing views. Not really that aware of his fear of height. They checked out.
Really?
It was all the way up on a mountain. It was so beautiful. In order to go down from there, you had to take, it was an amazing spot to be. And if you have fear, you can't even go. They couldn't even look out from that room.
You could write a book with all your stories.
Yes, I will. My stories are better than anybody's stories because I was there from the very beginning.
Right.
The real estate world.
Yeah.
It's all changed.
Laurie Cooper on the ground floor.
This was not a co-op
That's a great
city.
book title.
It's a rental city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the question you had? I'll answer whatever you want.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I mean, I am curious, like, what do you, I guess we should probably go back to Sex and the City.
Well, I do have questions about this specific episode.
That's more interesting than real estate. Let's do that.
So the big plot for Samantha is that we think she's finally found love.
Yes.
And then she's with this guy and they haven't had sex yet. And then they do have sex and it's 3 inches. So Nora and I always asked her the questions based off of the episode. So
3 inches hard. Remember that.
I do remember.
That's so funny.
So I wrote down.
That's really funny. That's
so
hysterical.
I wrote down to know, like, between the 3 of us, do we think size matters?
Do you think size matters, Laurie?
Matter.
What?
But it matters then. When you're young, it means everything.
Really?
Sex, and she was so into it.
Especially when you're Samantha. 3 inches hard is not what she's used to.
No, not at all.
I also didn't think this guy was that special. Like when they were hanging out, I didn't think it was like so uniquely the love of her life. Not a big loss for her.
But we don't really know what transpired between the two of them in their conversations.
You're right.
So they might have found something that they liked very much about each other.
Right.
It was sweet when he was feeding her the Krispy Kreme donut.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
He was a good guy. He
Yeah.
was an attorney. He was smart.
He was an attorney.
And a real guy. Listen, she didn't want to go to sleep with him right away.
Yeah.
That says
He held
something.
off, which is the trick women used to do years ago. Don't give it away. Buy it. That was what we used to
I have
say.
a question about that, Laurie. How do you feel about giving it away? Like, do you, well, may I ask, are you,
Yes.
you're married currently? Okay. And how long have you been married for?
I hate to say this, but I lost my husband last year to COVID.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Lord,
sorry.
I'm so sorry
and
to
my
hear that.
anniversary is actually tomorrow. I was married a very long time.
Oh my God, I'm
And
And I had a
so
very
sorry.
handsome, dapper, gorgeous husband.
Only
Oh my
the
gosh,
best.
Every
I'm
woman
so
would
sorry.
ask and want and pursued. He was so good looking.
Oh my God, I'm so
So-
sorry.
It's imagine COVID.
That's
Got on a
terrible.
plane going to Palm Beach. So that's what I would say. But what can you do? Life goes on. You have to keep going because every day is a wonderful day, and it goes quick. Girls, and you have to be careful. You got to marry the right guy. If it's not right, keep looking. Be smart.
So you
The
don't
way-
think we should settle?
No, you should not look. You can't have everything. There's no such thing. If he's too good looking and too rich, forget it. He's never going to stay with you because your girlfriends will all go after him. You're never
right.
not safe. You're never safe.
That's
I have
true.
those women all day long, divorced, out with me looking for apartments. They settled. They married a very rich, handsome guy. Again, when you're young, it's easy. You gotta land that guy when you're young. Let me tell you, keep looking.
I might get
Don't
engaged. Maybe I
settle.
should get engaged to my
Listen.
boyfriend.
I'll tell you the best husband. He loves you a little more than you love him. You've got it made. You've got it made. And don't go for good looking. Go for guys that are crazy about you. I go out with these couples. The husbands are very, very, very successful. I mean, you can buy an apartment from me for $100 million. And
Oh, wow.
the wife, when she speaks, they jump. She may not even be beautiful. She's got one thing going for herself. Secure. The woman that lets him think she's everything and smarter than him, then he'll bow down to you. And there are many beautiful women end up nowhere because they cower, they're sweet, they're not strong. You got to think a lot of yourself. I'm me. If you don't like me, screw you. I'm moving on. Then they think, well, maybe she's got what I want because I'm really insecure. Because men are really insecure. They can make a lot of money, but when it comes to relationships, it's another story. You got to be very secure. And a lot of these women are not beautiful. They're smart. Smart woman knows how to keep her husband. Sexually, you got to have it all. I mean, you got to be there for him. And you got to think a lot of yourself. If you don't think a lot of yourself, nobody will. Always remember that. Be secure. I know how to get any guy. You just have to know how to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And don't wait too long. I mean, you can wait into your early 30s, but if you wait too long, you get too hungry and it's not good. You got to.
That's a good quote.
If you want to eat. But let me tell you.
If you wait too long, you get too hungry.
You want to be married.
Sorry?
Marriage is the only thing that keeps you. Marriage is great. You want to have a family. Having children is the greatest gift of all. Really. But don't forget him when you're busy with your kids. You got to put a little romance into your relationship. Go out on date nights.
Yeah.
But always look good.
Okay.
Keep your body looking good.
We're like writing
keep
this
yourself
down.
looking good.
Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you, don't walk around schlumpy.
Okay.
Because he's out there. He's in his office where the girls are after him.
Oh.
Trust me.
Okay.
You're never safe. Those
Those
women are hungry. They don't even care if it's a best friend. They'll go after him. They're hungry. They're hungry for a guy. They get desperate and they'll do anything and say anything and they wear tight, clinging clothes and they want to,
It's stressful. All right.
I've seen it all. I've seen these women go.
Well, women can be vicious.
Vicious. They're hungry. They want one thing: money. No one wants the good-looking poor guy because
that's
trust
true.
me, that's not the husband you
Except
want.
For me and my boyfriend.
You want someone that's got money that can support you.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
want
true.
to keep working the rest of your life and let him think you are, but you're not really. You want to be with your kids. You can go to work, but you have to have a nanny, but you have to spend time with your kids because I see kids have problems. You got to be on top of them all the time. See what they're doing, who their friends are. But you got to know what your husband's doing all the time. Really, you got to plan things to keep him on edge. Always be glamorous and beautiful as best as you can, and make him feel like he's the greatest thing going. Because they have their ego. You got to massage their ego at all times.
I thought
you
they have
really
to massage our ego. Wait,
yeah, your ego too.
Okay.
Listen,
but we got to also massage our own.
That's a whole different story. What else you want?
Who do you think had the best marriage in the end in Sex and the City? Like, who do you think had the best relationship?
I think the smartest one is the one that married the Jewish guy.
Charlotte and Harry.
Charlotte. Yes, she's the smartest one.
He was crazy about her.
She had the best marriage, and he was crazy about her.
People say I'm a Charlotte.
Secure.
Mm-hmm. She is really secure.
She just wanted to get married.
Even in this episode, she gets her cards read, and they say she's not going to get married, and she just ignores it because she knows that she's going to get what she wants in this life.
There you go. There's a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wants. Then she's going, now, if you watch the latest episodes, it's rather interesting where they've gone with their lives.
Yeah, it's rather interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yes, that's a lot of fun what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Carrie's brilliant.
Question, Laurie, who do you identify with the most out of the four characters? Samantha, Miranda, Carrie, or Charlotte?
I mean, Carrie wants that love. Carrie's smart. And we have to see where this is all going. She was crazy about her husband, let's face it. It was a tragic ending to his life. All of a sudden, she didn't want children, which really surprised me. They just wanted to be with each other.
Right.
Those kids do make it even better. You travel, you go with your children, you see things through their eyes. One should have a family. I think it's really important.
Really?
Yeah. It's great. You live things through your eyes. You never get old. You're out with your children or child and you live through their eyes. And it's just fabulous to see yourself reproduced. It's just a wonderful thing to have children, honestly. And a great mate that's always concerned about you. You have to have 5 fingers. You need his 5 fingers and your 5 fingers.
Mhm.
That's the way to go through life.
Yeah.
It goes fast. But if you're miserable, get divorced. There's always another guy out there. If you're miserable, don't stay married.
How do you feel about, to bring it just, can I bring it back to Housewives just for a moment here?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about some of the breakups that have happened with some of the core New York cast with the Housewives, Mario and Ramona?
Very hard to stay married and be on reality TV.
Mhm.
Right.
You're all exposed. What you didn't realize is now out there, and you look at it differently. It's too much emphasis on you and everything you do. It's a very difficult situation to overcome. Though there are smart ones like Heather Dubrow and her husband, they'll never separate.
Yeah.
They need each other.
Do you
He's
think,
not good looking. Let's be realistic about this. He's not particularly attractive.
what do you think about Kyle and Mauricio? Do you have opinions on
I
that?
met Mauricio. I was with Mauricio recently.
Oh, yeah, because he's in real estate as well.
Right. He just bought New York real estate as well. And he's opening up in like everywhere. It's the moment in time. He's very charming. There are those women, when they look to buy something, like going out with this type of guy. It's a whole different world right now. And Mauricio is a real salesman. He's slick, smart, and I think he was very demanding of her, of Kyle. Let's face it, he'd not be where he is if it wasn't for Kyle.
100%.
He married into the family, the Hilton family. She
Right.
already, sister was married.
Have you
And
met
he
Kathy
worked-
and the Hiltons?
He worked for her husband, and that's how he got his start. That's why there was a big feud, because I didn't know the Hiltons as well. I worked with them. They were looking for their friend. I know that Kathy is a toughness woman.
Oh, so you've worked
And
with
he's
Kathy.
a straight out. She's tough.
Yeah.
He's shrewd, and he's a sweetheart and simple guy. I tell you, that's the best guy to marry because he looks up to her. She rules the roost. Those girls, I mean, you see how she lived her life with those girls. I mean, she's very smart. She's very lucky. Very lucky. And it's always that secure woman. And the guy, if he's sweet and rich, what more do you want? Just like the greatest gift of all.
Truly.
You do whatever you want. Trust me, that's the best guy. Anyone that's full of themselves is a tough husband to have. What do you want that? What do you want to have to strip out every single day and worried about him and where he's going and what he's doing because he's out there? Trust me, your husband's out there. He's out in an office environment and he's out with hungry women and whatever. It's tough. You got to get that.
You got to get them before they do.
And it's very hard for reality TV because the same thing with Dorinda and her husband. Let's see where that
PK.
goes.
Yeah,
PK.
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. When he's in London for 35 days. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's in London a lot. You know, he's been married before. This is not his first rodeo. Let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very attractive. And I like her. But she, too, is showing signs of insecurity when she's around the other housewives. You notice that?
Yeah, I've noticed that 100%.
Yeah. The Carcel is very tough. And it is just they're good personalities on Beverly Hills. And Miami also is very good. Look at Miami Housewives. That's another interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
So, in New York again, the new New York girls. Let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need the second season to really sell me. Season 1 was okay,
I agree.
But I'm ready for more.
I can't wait to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where I'm running to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
When I couldn't wait to put New York Housewives on and see Sonia.
Right.
Sonia's one smart cookie.
Yeah.
Really. But
She's the best.
She's off the wall. And that's what makes her funny.
Yeah, it is.
People like that. You don't want to see you when you're watching Housewives. You want to escape into their world, which is a different world than yours. You know what your girlfriends are doing. But you don't know the older woman is now so interesting. Because guess what? You're her in 20 years, 30 years. And to see women in their 50s, this was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing miniskirts and you're looking fabulous. There'll be a time in your time where you go into a room, you come out, you look 10 years younger. Plastic surgery is so big now.
Yeah.
You make yourself look great.
What would you recommend in terms of like surgeries for New York women? Like, what are some?
They all look alike.
Yeah,
They do.
We've
They look
noticed
alike.
that.
They're not even interesting. You're going too far. Everyone's got the slim nose. Everyone's got the
Yeah.
I don't think men like that. There's no expression.
Right.
Beauty should be, as you get older, show a little bit aging, but it's hard to be beautiful when you're older. It's very easy to be beautiful when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
It's keeping yourself looking great. And that's why the older housewives are very popular now. That's why they should do more of my age, because you're all going to be there.
You should
And
be
you
on
won't
Housewives,
wanna
honestly,
feel
Laurie.
that you're young, that you still look desirable and great. Every day's a great day.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up in the morning and you're feeling fine. It's great. It's a beautiful world.
Mm-hmm.
And New York's a great city.
It
It's
is.
a city of action.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills, you got to get in your car. Miami, you have to get in your car. You can walk Worth Avenue in Palm Beach. How many times can you walk it? And go to parties. It's so great in New York. Don't you agree? New York's the best city.
And we love it here. Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
NoHo, Tribeca, the restaurants are great. The Pokes is there. The people are attractive. That's why a lot of Hollywood is moving here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tribeca is fun. You see a lot of the children of those celebrities in LA are moving to New York.
Of course.
New York's got a pulse.
What would you say is like so in this episode of Sex and the City, we see that Samantha has this like meet cute moment at the jazz bar. What would you say is like the best place in New York to kind of have like a solo moment to meet people? Like, where would you go? Like, would that be the Regency for you, or just kind of like go out and have a drink?
They're looking to get laid. That's why they're at the bar. It's very different. I think you want to meet. I say go to your bars downtown, East Village. That's the place for young people to meet. I think you got to be in that environment downtown. You got to get out there. You can't stay home. You never know when you're meeting him. So you got to go out, socialize with a lot of people, and run around. You girls are young. You should be running around if you're single. Downtown.
Nora's single.
And what about Brooklyn? There's great spots there.
We're in Brooklyn.
You know, it's so different than my childhood. I went back to Williamsburg and I sort of dropped my socks. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Great vibe, great shopping, vintage shops. Very good there. Vintage shopping is great. And some great restaurants there. And it's got a pulse. It's more expensive than New York. I'm showing an apartment now that's like 2,000 square feet you can buy and fix up. That's the most amazing location for like $1,150,000. It's a joke. It's so cheap. It's cheaper than buying in Williamsburg. Williamsburg has gotten very expensive.
Yeah, you're telling me. I live over here.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
It's expensive. The greatest thing is, we got one word, subway.
Yeah.
It's got to be safe, but that's the fastest way to go.
Yeah.
I can go from 86th Street on Lexington Avenue to Williamsburg in a half an hour, 40 minutes. I can go eat at my favorite restaurants in the West Village a half an hour away, rather than eating boring up here. This is boring to me up here.
Don't you think it's crazy?
I don't want to go to a restaurant with older people. I want to go with there's a vibe, with a pulse. West Village, you walk around, you feel so good.
Don't you feel like it's crazy that in Sex and the City we never see them on the train?
That's true. They should put that into, because they travel the trains.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They travel the trains. Now,
right.
The stars themselves are in the trains.
Yeah. You're
I mean,
in the
how else
train.
do you get
You're
around?
a star. Yep.
What's that?
I said you're in the train, and you're a star.
Carrie didn't go in the trains yet,
Yeah.
but she herself goes in the trains now. Now
Yeah.
they put their earphones on and their whatever, they're on the phone, and you just got the only way to get around.
It is. So now we're almost out of time. So the episode,
Girls, we have a million topics.
I know.
That's it.
I know.
One
We
more final one.
we wanted to pick your brain, and Laurie,
we wish we had more time.
I have to say, if you ever want to meet up in person and have a cocktail and hang out,
Well, you should hang out at a bar, and we should actually do a scene at a bar.
Okay.
100%.
That's amazing.
That would be a fun thing, picking up guys at the bar. I go to Pastis every week, 2:00 on Sunday.
I
see a lot
will.
of my fans
We
there.
are.
It's so much fun to sit at a bar.
So
It
You get to meet
is.
everybody.
And people
A
watch.
bar
Yeah.
is a place to have your dinner. If
Mhm.
you're single, eat at the bar.
We are.
Absolutely.
Get dressed. Don't
Lori,
These
look
are going to
the
be our
way
plans
that-
for the rest of the year.
Nobody would think you'd wear something crazy.
Okay.
We'll wear
Crazy
something
goes now.
crazy.
Stripes. Well, I mean, flowers, dresses. Do something different
Yeah,
so that they comment on what you're wearing.
I'll wear something crazy.
You have gorgeous red hair.
Anytime you want to go to Pasties, we'll come
We'll
with
meet
you
you
2
there.
p.m. Sunday, and we'll wear
The
something
fun
really crazy.
time to go. I have my crowd there. They actually texted me and said, "Where were you on Sunday?" You weren't
Oh,
there." It's fun. Patiste is a great spot.
Oh,
good to
because
know.
it's the best deal in town. That brunch, better
Huh?
than anywhere.
What's the
Food's
deal?
great, the pulse is great. It's good. It's not that expensive,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's fun. And you want to see the same people. They stop me. If I go downtown, I get stopped in the street all the time. because
Yeah.
That's the ones that are
Mm-hmm.
young. I go to LA, I have my crowd there too. I love the Vanderpump girls. I know them all. They're all great.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Ariana, I
hard
love
time to
Ariana. Ariana and I know each other quite well. So,
Oh, did you see her in, what is it, Chicago?
She did.
Of course
She
I
said-
did.
of course she
Oh.
and I had a whole conversation with her. And she
How is she
loved to
doing?
talk to me. She is beautiful in person.
Right.
She is better looking in person than you see her on TV, honestly. And she's lovely and sweet and kind. Not what they make her out to be. She's a great girl. She is.
What do you think of Sheena?
Sheena is Sheena.
Okay,
She's
okay.
smart. She's tough ass. Her husband's very sweet, by the way.
I know. I met him actually
He's
at
a very
BravoCon.
nice guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's
I-
not going anywhere.
Did
He's with her.
Did you buy her tears in the most recent episode?
Well, she was good friends with him. He's a jerk. He's full of
Mm.
himself. What's the worst kind of guy to go with?
It
Why would you
is.
want to date him? He thinks he's the greatest thing going.
He's the Mr.
I mean,
Big.
he's so full of himself, and he dressed horribly, and he was dressing in these clothes. I know how to dress. No, he doesn't. He's insecure jerk. Really, it's not the kind of guy you want. Brittany, I'm kind of sad about that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
heard
I
about
know.
that.
He
It was
is so nice.
Jax.
Jack was so lovely with me. We had the best time together.
Oh, that's so
we
nice
were
to
singing
hear.
together and dancing. He's a great guy.
Well,
Really?
I've heard
Very
rumors that it's not true and they're doing it for press for this new show.
They could be. They could be. Yeah, why not? She gained a lot of weight.
Oh,
That could be a
And,
show. Yeah.
Gotta keep yourself looking good, girl. You really
Yeah.
do. Now it's so easy.
I know. We go to the gym together all the time.
We do. We keep ourselves looking good.
Yeah.
We actually have our digital production editor here. She would love to say hello to you. Her name is Alex. If you wouldn't mind.
Put her on.
She just, yeah, I'm going to just throw her on really quick. She would just love to say hello. She's a big fan of yours. I'm just going to throw her on here.
But I think the idea
Yeah,
of going
Alex,
to
do
a
you
bar downtown, girls, we're going to do that.
No, yeah, we're
Bring her on.
definitely going to do that. Trust
Do
me,
that.
we're going to a bar downtown, Lori.
I'll meet you down there.
All right,
Just tell me
here
when.
she
I've done so many
is.
podcasts.
Hey, Laurie.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
Good. How
Look
are
how cute
you?
you
Thanks
are.
so much.
Adorable.
Thank you. I
So
just
tell
have.
me,
I had one question to ask you. What are your favorite shoes?
that's the worst question you could ask me.
Really?
because I have big feet.
Me too.
And,
I'm a size
you don't
9.
have size 11. I have big feet. The challenge is always to find shoes that make my feet look smaller. I used to walk around in high heels all day. But let me tell you, killer. Because you know what? It affects your face. You're in pain.
Does, yeah.
You want to run the subways. No one cares what you wear. It doesn't make. Yes, at night you're wearing a tight dress. You want to wear high heels, of course, your legs because your legs look fabulous in high heels.
Oh yeah, they totally do.
But the chunky ones that they used to wear, I used to watch the girls walking in Italy. I mean, made them look awful. Who cares what your shoe is? Your body's important. Keep that looking great.
Okay.
Always dress a little sexy.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
Totally.
Not a bad thing. And wear colors. Kids, they're black. They wear black. They wear
Oh God,
blue.
we need to change
Wear
both
colors.
of us.
I know. Look at we're in our black
Mix
sweaters.
and match. Stand out in a crowd. And don't be afraid of being talkative. So when you go to a bar, start up with someone. They want you to talk to them.
That's why they're there.
Then it's true.
How you going to meet someone? Hey, you look great. You know, you come up with something clever. You could approach a guy now.
We'll bring Alex with us when Nora and I meet you downtown.
Oh, yeah. That would be amazing.
We'll firm that up.
We'll paint the town red.
I show down there a lot, so I like to work around that. So anyways, and that's always fun for me down there. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun down there.
Eat in some great restaurants. We take the train down. I told you, it's faster to get there than to get to the west side with a cab.
Yeah. Oh, because all the cars now, you're going to be in traffic forever. If you want to get anywhere on time, you got to get on the train. Never thought I'd say it.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's
now
true.
With the Uber surcharge going to
love
Manhattan,
the West.
I can't
the
even
West
do it.
Village is the best. It's the best. It's got everything going. Soho came back. Soho's good now too. I remember during COVID walking Soho and there wasn't a soul in the street. Anyways, girls, we can finalize all this. Let's wrap it up.
Yep, I'm gonna recap the end of the episode. Nora's gonna come on.
Anybody want to ask me for advice? They can certainly call me on Cameo.
Perfect on Cameo.
I'm reasonable on Cameo. I always get.
All right, Laurie. I'm gonna hand the mic back to Nora.
Yes.
All right.
It's been a pleasure. I'm handing it back to Nora.
It's been a pleasure. Yes.
All right, Laurie.
Take care. Love you. Had fun.
I'm going to just say.
Every day's a great day, girls. Don't miss a day and keep watching Housewives. It's the greatest escape of all.
Keep watching Housewives. I need to get better. Nora watches a lot more than me. I need to keep up with the girls better.
I do tend to watch a lot. But we also watch Sex and the City, though, and we are so happy to have you, Laurie. Thank you so much for your time.
All right,
so my pleasure.
Wait, what'd you say?
Girls, I wish you a lot of luck.
What were you gonna?
I started a lot of podcasters off that became very famous.
We're hoping we get that same fate
with Heather McMahon. Someday I'm going to be a big star, Laurie. And look where she went. You know,
she's a big star. She was at the Oscars yesterday.
Yes, I can't believe it. So she worked hard getting to where she did. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. We're going to sign off with you and then we'll do our own closing to the podcast episode. Thank you so much, Laurie, for being on this episode today.
Girls, enjoy life. Don't miss a day. You're young. This is the best. You can make a mistake and then correct it and have it better tomorrow. Drop the jerk. Keep going.
I actually just dropped a jerk last week, so we're good.
Okay.
And Laurie, we love you, and we'll
meet you downtown.
Wait. Laurie _Cooper _ Realty is my Instagram.
Yes. And
you can DM me. You can do whatever you want on there. See me there.
All right. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And Laurie, I will text you about Patsy's. We are going to go out together, and we can't wait to hit the town with you. We love you.
I've done this before, and I couldn't get a reservation. I've boosted restaurants, hotels, and I couldn't get in the hotel because I kept saying what a great hotel it is, which you can always ask me about. 5-star hotels all around Europe.
There you go.
Amazing.
Girls, I hope you reach that point.
We will. Thank you, Laurie.
Okay,
bye.
Good night now.
Bye.
We love you, Laurie.
Have fun. Bye.
We love you.
Well, we did not really recap the episode, but we did something so much better, which was learn everything we need to know about how to keep a man from the Laurie Cooper.
And how to keep ourselves.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say the end of what happens in this episode.
Yeah.
And I was trying so hard, but that it was okay.
Yeah.
So the episode, obviously a lot happens that was left out, but that's okay. Miranda looks terrible at church. I just want to make sure I say that. And what happens at the end is Big shows up to take Carrie on their vacation. And she was like, I'll go with you. You just got to tell me I'm the one, which already broke my heart. And he couldn't do it. And she has faith in herself and she stays and he goes. And I was like, thank God, a little confidence from Carrie.
I love that.
And that's how we ended season 1.
And we've been so thankful to all of our listeners. This has been such a wonderful season.
We're loving being friends and podcasters and rewatchers.
We love
Thank you for
My
supporting
Friend's
it.
Basement. Thank you so much. And thank you just for, I'm sorry, I'm really starstruck right now.
We need to end this episode so we can chat about Laurie.
I feel like I just met I don't even know. There's no one to compare her to.
We met the best of the best.
I'm so glad that we wrapped our season with such an icon, and she really does embody everything that we stand for.
She's a New York woman.
She's a New York lady. And with that, we are so excited for season 2, and we love you. And Hannah, I love you.
I love you, Nora.
Love you. Bye.